Hey Queens, what's going on? It is Josh here, and this is a bit of a different episode of the Queendom podcast. This is going to be released in two different versions. So you're going to get this amazing video version, so you can kind of keep up with the voices that go on. And then also in a couple of weeks, maybe months, the podcast version of this will be released as well. I'm really excited to sit down, chat with Tori, C, and Tash. We have a lot of fun in this episode, and we talk cosplay. And these girls and a lot of other cosplayers in the community are getting swarmed right now with all you guys at home looking to be creative. It is great, but we want you guys to use this as a reference because the same questions get asked all the time, and I thought let's put it all into one. We're going to still work on the blog post. I'll pop a link down below when we've got that up and running. So if it's not there right now, check back later. But other than that, let's just get stuck in because these girls drop some amazing information for you guys, I guess. And it's fantastic to listen in on. Make sure you guys are checking out the website, thequeendomonline.com. We have the merch line out that you can check out to rep your favorite queen and also just catch up to date with who's in what cast and some other news around the Queendom. So here we go. Let's get stuck in and we'll see you on the other side. See you, Queens. Hey, Queens, and welcome back to this special edition of the Queendom podcast. I am joined by three amazingly talented humans from the cosplay world. You would have seen them on TikTok, Instagram, the life. We've got Tash, C, and Tori. You guys are probably either watching this on YouTube or listening to this on the podcast. And if you're doing either or, make sure you do the other one just to show us some love. Hey, girls, how are we all?
Good.
This is really exciting. This is the first time I've met C and Tori, and I haven't met Tash. I haven't met Tash in person. Tash is the only one I haven't.
Yes, you have.
In person.
You guys are the closest to each other.
You've met me. We had dinner together.
Oh, I have too. That's awkward. Ooh, there we go. Well, I've met them all.
Well, bye.
Now that we. But this is really cool. So we've got you guys are amazing. I've been following you all for so long, and to get you all in one room in inverted commas is awesome.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk cosplay because cosplay is a thing in the Queendom, and
because
what we're
it is a thing.
What we're going to touch off on is first of all how you guys got into cosplay. So Tash, we'll start with you. How did
Mine's long.
Well,
Then better start with you.
True that. 10 years ago. Not even kidding.
Wow, we're starting back.
the other girls weren't even
I'm
born.
old.
10 years ago. Oh my god.
Right?
10 years ago, I really liked Sailor Moon. My mom and I went into the city and there was like a convention going on and I saw someone dressed as Sailor Moon and I was like, what? So it was like life-changing. And then there was a convention on like just after that. And so we like went there. I dressed as Misa from Death Note, if anyone remembers that.
Ooh.
And then I've just been going strong ever since.
Nice.
And now we're here. See?
And now we're here.
Okay, so mine is definitely not that long.
Okay,
I started. Let me just get into it. So about a year and 4 months ago, I met one of my best friends, Elizabeth, and she's been a cosplayer for years. So as soon as I met her, I was like, yo, I kind of want to try that. And I did, and here we are.
And here we go. And Tori.
So last summer, I've only been cosplaying for like less than a year. Can't compete with y'all pros, you know.
I'm not that far ahead of you.
Yo, we got this southern accent
for
going.
10 years.
Yes.
Oh my God. But last summer, my friends were like, there's this convention called MegaCon. You should come with. And I was like, don't people like dress up to that? Like, do I have to do that? And they're like, I mean, you should. And I was like, okay. So I like last minute scrambled and I pulled together two things and I went and it was so fun. And I was like, this is so cute. And I loved it. And I met so many cool people and I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this, you know? And here we are.
And just to prove I have right to be in this conversation, I have actually done a cosplay myself. I've done one. So I actually understand. I bought it all, didn't make a thing. It was a part of a Suicide Squad group. I was the Joker.
Oh.
I had it going. It was
Yes, you
Okay.
Oh,
did.
yes.
that was.
All right.
I'll send you guys that photo later.
Yeah, I want to see.
It's good.
So now that we've got that out of the road, out of
Can I just say something really quick?
no,
I'm going to say it anyway. I'm so mad at C and Tori. They're like, oh yeah, we just like started. It's no biggie. They already look like fantastic. They didn't have an ugly face. They didn't have a weird cheap eBay face. No,
Oh
they
my
like
God.
right out the gate. So like, I'm
No,
here.
I would beg to
No, no,
differ.
no.
Yeah.
Look.
I made a whole TikTok showing my ugly face. It was not
Yeah, it's bad.
Mm-mm,
I'm
mm-mm.
just glad I started
I don't
when
believe
I was
either of you.
19 instead of like 9.
I feel that.
oh my god.
Okay.
So I missed Tasha's intro. I was well late to the party, but see, I remember you first coming out onto the scene with that Hamilton cosplay. That was
Yep.
my introduction to you. The first photo that you put up into the group, I was like, damn, this is like spot on. And that was great. And then Tori, your whole blow up on TikTok and everything. And then I don't even,
Mhm.
Tash and I just randomly met. I don't even know.
I was just
This is what
vibing.
happens in Australia.
We're pretty much
Yeah, you
brother
just,
and
like, run into each
sister.
I love that.
So
Probably.
out of every single cosplay you guys have done, what is your favorite one that you've done? Yeah, I'm going to make you choose.
I have an answer.
Okay, good.
Okay. A lot of you probably already know this, but Persephone from Hadestown.
I was going to say, if it's not
Mm,
Persephone, like...
Yeah,
I'm
I put
that.
too much work into that for it not to be my favorite.
The dedication, is real.
Tori?
100%.
I mean, I haven't done that many cosplays. I'm still, less than a year going, but probably Catherine Howard, because I've spent the most on that. She went through a roller coaster of phases, The beginning was rough, but I was so happy, like, with my last model of it and how far it's come. Even, like, since BroadwayCon, that one is rough now, in my opinion, but he's come a long, long way. So I have to say that's my favorite,
And Tash?
I think unlike these babies, I've done over 70 costumes. So, no, my favorite's Fairy Godmother because I like made everything. Like I the freaking wig, the wings,
Oh my
the dress,
gosh.
My favorite.
all of it. So.
Guys, we want to
Fairy
hear what
Godmother.
your favorites are. So I'm going to drop links down below to all these girls' profiles, and then you're going to grab your favorite for each of them and tag us all in them. So
Vote down below.
we're gonna
Oh.
bring it out. We're gonna bring the competition out.
Oh my gosh.
So we're here for 6.
Mhm.
What was your individual introductions to 6? How did you find out about this show?
Ooh.
Let's start with Tori.
Okay, mine's real easy. I was like, what is this show that's replacing Waitress on Broadway? Because I loved Waitress. And I was like, what is coming? I have never heard of this. And I never knew about 6 until like last year. And I was a huge Waitress stan, And then I was like, well, I got to listen to it so I can hate on it and be like, I love Waitress. It shouldn't be coming, And then I listened to it and I was like, this is pretty good. I don't think I can hate on this. And
Yeah.
here
Can't
we
deny
are.
it.
So, yeah, that's it.
Have you got a Jenna cosplay yet?
Pardon?
Have you got a Jenna cosplay yet?
Oh, me? No, I would like to cosplay from Waitress one day, maybe.
Let's roll it. Tash, your introduction.
Mine was really simple. I was listening to Spotify. It was like a Discover Weekly and Get Down played. And I was like, what is this bop? And I'm German. Like my family's part German. So I was like, hello, what is this? You speak to me? And then I found what it was from. And I was like, okay, we're here. So done.
Nice.
There we go. And
Yeah.
So about a year ago exactly, 6 blew up on TikTok, and that was my first experience to it because it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I looked into it because I already heard bits of the songs, obviously, and I liked it. And then I found out that 6 was having their U.S. premiere in Chicago, where I live. So I was like, okay, I have to go check this out, and then I did.
And here we are.
Yes.
Costumes
Yeah,
galore. So we've got 2 Catherine Howards, a Boleyn, and Tasha also has a Seymour out as well.
Mhm.
It's not technically
Cleves.
mine. I made it, but and a Cleves.
And a Cleves. So what was the decision behind making those queens? What drew you to those particular costumes? C, kick us off.
So usually with cosplays, if I find a character I connect with, I want to cosplay them. But with Bolin, not that I don't connect with her, but I just
haven't
honestly
had my head chopped off, so
yeah, thankfully. But I thought she was really fun, and I think I heard her song first, and not to like brag, but I look good in green, so I was like I'm making that.
Green is your color, honestly.
Yes.
Tori.
Wait, could you repeat the question again?
What?
Sorry, I'm spacing.
We just got caught up in C's conversation.
Right? I was like green. Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose Howard as your
Oh,
cosplay?
so he wasn't my favorite. Captain Parr, honestly, I really vibe with Captain Parr.
Oh my god.
And I was like, that outfit is cute, but I had no clue how to make the pants. And I looked at Captain Howard, and she looked back at me, and I said, this one looks the easiest. So that's why I made it. That's really
That's
it.
valid.
Then,
That is so valid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being so real. I had no plan, and I was like, that looks pretty easy. Easy, but it was still very hard. But compared to the rest, like Bolin skirt, I wasn't messing with that, yeah. And then my sister got jealous because she wanted to be included. So I made her Anna pleats because that one looked second easiest, and that's my answer.
Valid.
Oh, my
We keep it real.
I do a lot of musical cosplay groups. For those of you who don't know, I've got like 2 other people who do it with me. So we've done like the Heathers and Hamilton and like all that stuff. And so, we're really all into Six, and it was kind of like a tussle because I was like, I really want to do Boylin. Like, she looks so cool. And my friend was like, I'm doing Boylin. And I was like, okay, I want Howard because, I love pink. And then another friend of mine was like, I'll only join if I get Howard. And I was like, why don't you Seymour?
Oh my god.
I don't like Seymour. I know, it was a bloodbath. So I ended up with Seymour for a while. The Howard dropped out, and I was like, she's mine again. And then we found another Seymour, and now I have a Seymour and a Howard costume because I made them both.
Hey.
So yeah, battle.
The reason we are here is because you guys and other cosplayers out there in the Six community are getting absolutely swarmed with questions at the moment, with people being in isolation asking
Oh my
how
god.
you
yes.
do what you do.
A discussion.
Oh my god.
If you are listening, watching, whatever it is time to pull out your notepad and pen, because we are going to answer as many of these questions as possible, so you don't need to jump back in the DMs. All right. So, starting out, we'll start with Tash. Starting out, how do you start the idea for your cosplay? Like, what is your first steps into the creation process?
I look at the character, and then I'm like, what do I need? No, but basically, no one probably knows this, but my job is an accessory designer and like lamp maker. So I have to look at the materials on something and figure out what I need to recreate that. So my first step was looking at the fabrics and being like, what the hell is that? Because Six is like, their costumes were something that's completely brand new. So finding fabrics that matched that was absolutely insane. And unlike most Six cosplayers, I had no problem with the stripes whatsoever. I went to my fabric store and I found it like the week before, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I found Six, and I was like, so I bought so much of that fabric. I even sent some to Elizabeth.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so like just nutting down, researching the fabrics. Research was the biggest point for me, because at that time, I think C and Elizabeth were the only Six cosplayers that I knew of. So he's like, and yeah, just trying to find what to get where from.
Yeah.
Is incredible.
Like,
yeah, you were. So yeah, and at that point, I think I messaged either C or Elizabeth asking about one of their fabrics, and I didn't feel bad about it because I was like, y'all are the only bitches here doing it.
I think you messaged me.
Y'all
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And yeah, so I was like, where'd you get this? And yeah, that's it. But we didn't have those like cosplay pages, like the Instagrams and stuff, being like, look at this costume. It was like there's a distance picture, figure it out yourself. And we're like, all right, guess we'll do it. Yeah. So
see,
fabric,
you were kind of first on the scene. So how did you go about, and you're probably the one that's kind of got the most recognition from Six as well, with the shares that you've had and the takeovers that you've done. What was your initial process in getting your fabrics and putting everything together? So once you've got your fabrics, how do you look at putting everything together and getting the most likeness?
So after I had the fabrics, I had only been cosplaying about 4 months, like when I began this project. So it was really, really ambitious for me to take this on. I don't know what I was thinking. So honestly, as much as I can say, I literally, my first version, I just winged it. I was like, I'm going in blind and hoping this turns out. But since I've made updates since then, my next process when I create it is definitely drafting and measurements is always have to be really precise, especially with costumes like Six, because they are PVC and there's lots of squares, especially in Boleyn's. So it's like, just got to make sure you get your measurements right, because that's what will really make it come out looking like, hopefully, the stage version.
Perfect. Tori, how much time have you put into your cosplays making sure that it was as close to the photos as possible? Because that's something I know you guys, with your updates and everything, strive for, is making that kind of perfect replica. So what is that process like for you, Tori?
Well, for me, at first, to be honest, I didn't care. I was going in blind. I was real confused as what I was doing. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this looks cute. Let's make it. So yeah, the first version that I made, I don't know. It didn't look very accurate at all. It resembled it, but it didn't look accurate. And then after a while, I was like, I think I figured out the skills from researching to just trying to figure it out on my own, because I am completely self-taught. I still don't know what I'm doing, but just figuring it out and eventually piecing it together. And then I was like, after I came in the era that we had all the wonderful Instagram pages with all the reference pictures. So that was
I love how we're calling it an era as if it's been around for
it's been around for maybe 6 months.
Yeah, before Instagram pages and after. It is definitely not. But so I had all those wonderful references to help me, and thank God. And so I kept looking at those, and I was like, just trying to piece together from different websites, looking at different fabrics, trying to figure out how the hell to find this trim, that's a sought after item, trying to figure out what PVC vinyl is and how to make it go out, because that is a challenge. And yeah, just trying to figure it out on my own. And here we are.
Perfect. What we might do is the four of us might work on a blog post to put up on the website about how or where you sourced your fabrics from, being from different parts of the world. We might chat on that so people can have the links and go ham on that. Putting everything together and seeing it come together, what is that experience like from your perspective, seeing something that you saw as a photo going through a sewing machine and then coming out the other side? What's that like? Let's start with Tori.
Well, for me, because my costume has been on a roller coaster of adventures, when I put on, it was a week ago, I finally finished my updated top. I was so happy. And I spent the entire day just going ham, trying to finish it and film some stuff with my sister, who was Cleves. And I ran out, took pictures. I was just so happy. And, it's just wow, I did that, you just feel that overwhelming pride. And after spending 5 months working on a costume, it's wow, it actually paid off, kind of cool.
Yeah, amazing. Tash?
Oh my God. So when we did our costumes, it was the whole group. Our Boylin is a big theater girl. She was in the middle of a show. So I literally made her costume in one night. It was done. One day it was done. Just seeing that finish was amazing. But then we didn't think we were getting Australia, Six here in Australia. So when we did, and they came up with new freaking costumes, it was the biggest slap in the face.
Shout out to Nigel.
Ever. Thank you so much for that.
The bane of all cosplayers' existence.
The update.
We were so excited. We were going to go in costume. It was going to be amazing. And then they're like, aha, surprise!
Gotcha.
So now we have to make a new costume. Yeah. You thought.
Oh my,
Get out of here. No, so
Oh
it's
my
great. It feels amazing. Love it. Love the costumes.
See?
So, just in general, as a cosplayer, there's no better feeling than when you complete something and you're finally able to see like the fruits of your labor. Especially when I remade Boleyn's skirt to be stage accurate with the actual, panels that flip out. I broke so many needles. I lost my mind. My hair, I was tearing out. It was awful.
And that's why she's wearing a wig right now.
Literally, no hair. But I about gave up so many times. So then when it finally came together, I was like, I'm so glad I did this, but I never want to touch it again.
All right. So we've touched on the material and kind of creation side of things. There is a lot more to cosplaying than the clothes. So let's talk shoes, because the shoes in this show are nuts. How did you guys go about laboring over your shoes? Let's start with you, C.
So I actually updated my shoes just recently, a couple months ago. Originally, I just had plain black boots. But then once I noticed that they had like the studs and the sparkles on them, all I did was buy a bunch of green and white Swarovski crystals from Amazon, and I just went ham with the glue. This was before they came out with the new shoes that actually have the designs on them. Before they were just sort of random. So I might have to update my shoes again. That's the problem with cosplays like this. You're kind of always got to be updated.
Tori.
Yeah, I mean, same. I went to Poshmark, found a pair of black boots, and I was like, these look good. So I went ham on the pink and silver crystals, and I was like, just throw them on. It doesn't matter if there's any empty space, put a crystal there. And yeah, I love those boots. They're so cute. I'll unironically wear them in real life, just when I'm feeling it.
I want a pair just to have in my room. They just look so
right.
I'm just like,
what a statement! A conversation starter for sure.
Tash.
Literally, I had black boots, and I was like, pink that stuff. So yeah, slapped on pink and silver crystals. They're done.
Right.
So easy.
Let's jump up to the top. So hair and makeup. So you guys are talented makeup artists in your own. If anybody is watching this, that is not C's natural hair. She is not a redhead.
No.
So she's got the wig game. I know Tash and Tori have wig suppliers as well. How do you guys go about finding your hair for your cosplays? Tash, let's start with you.
Okay, can I start? I'm actually friends with the wig company here.
I was going to say, we can't do paid sponsorship here, so just chill out.
No, it's not a paid sponsorship. Don't worry. No, but this was before I started actually working with them. But I'm friends with the wig company here. They do a lot of drag queen wigs, and I messaged him because I message them whenever I'm like, how do I do this? So I messaged him and I was like, hey, do you have any wigs that are kind of similar to this? Because they had one on their website, but it was like a dusty, weird pink with like dark roots. Doesn't matter. So I messaged him, and he went through his suppliers, like where he buys all of the stuff, and he found that wig for me. And now they stock it on their website. So for a while,
that's so cool.
he just found they found the wig for me. Aside from that, I was willing to like dye it myself. I'm not that crazy, Elizabeth. But yeah. So I was lucky enough to have a friend in the game.
Tori, hit us up.
I just Googled black to pink ombre wig and kept scrolling. And I didn't even know. I have the same one that Tash has. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't even know that was a thing. I know you have like a code. I would have used that,
I send it to you.
But yeah, I just Googled that, and I searched for so long because that is such a Howard Terror is so specific and weird. It was so hard to find something. I looked at so many wigs, so many pages, and then eventually I went on Google Images and I found it, and I saw her, and I was like, she's the one. We did it. We did it, boys. We did it.
And see, you've dealt with the whole space bun ordeal.
How was that getting this?
I don't know how you do
that.
Yeah, so thankfully with Bolin, I didn't have to find a crazy colored wig. It was just a brown wig. So yay for that. But those space buns, to just do a really good updo on any wig, you need to have a really good lace front, if not like a full lace wig. So that's what I had to make sure it had to be lace front for Bolin, because if you don't have a lace front, you can make it work. It just won't look as nice. But thankfully now my natural hair, not this, is long enough where I can actually put my own hair in space buns and I just put in extensions. And so I got it pretty easy now.
Nice and easy.
Wow, look at me. I'm
Must be
pretty.
nice.
Dropping down to the face area, which is where we get to kind of play around. How did you guys go about developing your makeup for your cosplays? Wow, that I really stumbled through that question. Tori, let's hit it off with you.
Yeah, I looked at a bunch of different K. Howards, like what they did for their makeup, and then I was like, well, it's a lot of pink, a lot of glitter. So I found this really cool glitter palette, and I just started throwing it on my eyes, and I was like, just make it big and flashy and pink, you know? That's basically it.
Can't go wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah. Tash, let's roll with you.
Literally the same. I think every time I've gotten into K. Howard, the makeup is either it's like different or it's better. I basically do the same that I've just done with pinks. Yeah, just big and pink. No trick.
And I left C for last because C's done 2 variations on Bolin. She's done the regular Bolin, and then we had a Halloween gore Bolin. So touch on the regular for me. Starting off, how did you go about putting her together?
Yeah, so first I was able to find reference photos from the actual actresses who play Bolin. But the thing I've noticed is that they all have slight variations on their makeup. Obviously, it depends on eye shape. So it took me so long to find a good green glitter that was like, I wanted this specific shade of green that matched my outfit, and I kept getting little green pigments of glitter, and I kept trying it. Literally, like Tash said, every time I've done Bolin, my makeup has been slightly different. I still don't think I've perfected it yet, but it's getting there because I had to keep going through so many greens, and eventually I found one I think that worked. So that was a process with the original version.
Now talk us through where the gore Bolin came from, because when that came out, I was like, whoa, this is sick.
Oh my god. So actually, when my friend Elizabeth, who does K. Howard as well, when she cosplayed Howard with me, we came up with this idea months before Halloween, where we were like, it would be so cool because we're both beheaded to just do a beheaded look, right? So, but we wanted to push it out to Halloween so it'd be appropriate. We didn't want to just like whip that out in the middle of summer. It'd be kind of a little too much. But the entire time, so we waited till October to do it, but we were so worried somebody else was going to do it first. We're like, oh my God, what if somebody takes this? So then eventually we got up there, and me and her, we haven't really worked in SFX makeup. So it was, very interesting to try it for the first time.
SFX makeup is ridiculously hard to do for the first time.
Oh my God.
I have done like some prosthetic stuff, and it's like, this is like so much work for like, it's ridiculous.
And like to make it look real as well.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So when we did it for the first time, we were going to do a photo shoot with one of my friends, and we were doing the makeup, and then we realized the sun was going down, so we only had so much time to get it. So we had to rush through the rest of the makeup, newbies. It was chaos, but it somehow all worked out in the end. So I'm glad, but I'd really like to give it another shot this upcoming Halloween season and try it again.
We're going to get everybody together. We're going to have a full squad. There's going to be the beheaded girl.
That is the dream, to get all like
so cool.
dead versions of the queen.
Right. Tash, you can come over
Honestly.
as Seymour.
I have a cleaves.
There we
You have got the cleaves. I'll rip on over with my camera and we'll get it sorted. It's happening.
Basic dead.
Oh yes.
The dead squad.
I touched on
I
it
don't
earlier.
think Jane did.
She'd just be white, really.
I got my dead baby.
You do.
So the three of you are amazing personalities in your own right. I absolutely adore you all. Let's talk TikTok, because TikTok for you three is kind of this amazing platform where you guys get to show off your cosplays, your personalities, the lot. So, see, let's start with you. How did you discover TikTok, and what was your kind of mindset behind throwing everything into it and doing what you do?
Oh wow. Okay, so it's actually kind of funny. So TikTok blew up in like late 2018 is when it really got really big. But I remember I didn't have the app at that point. All I saw was compilations on YouTube. It were typically cringe compilations from TikTok.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I used to laugh my ass off at it, and it was always funny. But it was at that point where it wasn't like mainstream to have TikTok yet.
Yeah.
So I remember talking with Elizabeth, and obviously we knew cosplayers were on TikTok at that point. But I was like, oh man, I don't know if we should get it because like it could be made fun of. It could be really cringy. So then on the first of the year of 2019, January 1st, we both decided we're like, you know what, screw it. We're just doing this. Like we don't care if it's cringy, we're gonna have fun. And that changed my life because since then that is my biggest platform and so much has happened, and it's honestly one of my favorite things to do is to film TikToks because you can be like so creative. There's limitless possibilities on there.
I love seeing the three of you on my For You page.
Yeah, and that's how I know I met Tori mostly through TikTok. Like we met at BroadwayCon, but I knew her because of TikTok.
That's exactly how I knew Tori as well. When I saw her walking around, I was like, that's the chick off TikTok.
Oh my god. I know. Wow.
So Tori, what was your introduction to TikTok and the decision behind jumping on the platform?
So if you don't know, I have a twin sister. Twin sisters, we like to compete. And my sister got a TikTok and she like uploaded a singing video and it got like 2,000 views. And I was like, what is this? You're getting 2,000 views? Oh, I'm going to get TikTok then. Haha, take that, sister. So I got a TikTok only because I wanted to compete with her. And I just posted like a random singing video. And then we just like had that for a while. And then I was like, I started getting into cosplaying and I was like, you know, I could like do some cosplay TikToks, but I don't know. I have a lot of friends who follow me. I'm kind of embarrassed. But then I was like, this looks so fun. Like I watched C on TikTok and I was like, she's out here living her best life, making really cool stuff. And you know what? If people have a problem with that, that's on them because I think it's so fun. And I do musical theater, so I love like acting and stuff. And I just think it's so fun. And yeah, I just started filming stuff and here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Tash, take it away.
Because I am an old man, I still don't really understand TikTok. I taught my mom how to use it.
I don't think
That was
anybody
pretty
does.
fun.
No one does.
not
It's
really.
okay.
Algorithms change daily.
No.
Like I've got a video with like 50,000 views and it's me of cutting up a jumper. Like I'm not even in the video.
It's so random.
I can top that. I have a video of yabbies going down a water slide, so like crayfish for you guys.
Dude, that
And
video
it's
was so
got
good.
300,000 views. I did nothing. I just filmed
That's
them.
so
No
legendary.
effort. I was so cut.
I love that.
That's what made my mom make a page. There's a her fish. She loves it. She has her own account now. No.
So cute. Fish fan page.
God.
It's got a weird pun name as well.
Drop
Anyway,
that.
to me,
Free
Link below.
promo.
not getting that from me. No, but to me, like I've always loved Vine and all that stuff, but because I've been cosplaying for so long, to me it was another platform to like show off my costumes on. I didn't really know how to use it to begin with. No, as I said, no one knows how to use it. But it was just another way to kind of showcase people costumes. So I thought it was really cool, and I was like, okay, I'll get TikTok.
I think that's a perfect way to sum up TikTok. It's like the Vine of our generation. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing,
Gone too
but
soon.
a different name. Like, bring back Vine, hashtag.
Please.
So yeah, wow. I'm lost for words. Any advice for first timers? Because that's where we're at with the Queendom. A lot of people are stuck with a ton of time seeing you guys and the other amazing people out there. We've got like Caraboss Cosplay and a ton of other
love
people.
them.
Legend. Oh.
That swing alternate costume that they released the other day.
Mm.
Oh, please bring that back into my life. So advice for first timers, people starting out. Let's start with Tori, because you're the baby of the group.
I am a
First
first
timer.
timer. Yeah, as a first timer who this was like my first big build thing, it was hard. I just do research, all the research. Like I'd say do more research. Just like, yeah, do research, because I did not do enough research, obviously, the first time I made it, and I didn't like care. So if you really care about making it accurate, then yeah, like look up those reference pictures, look up the materials, try to find something that's like as accurate as possible. And definitely, if you want it to be as close as accurate, understand that you're going to drop some cash on that costume.
Ooh,
it is
yeah.
not a cheap costume. And for a first time build, like personally, I wouldn't recommend from experience doing that for your first big build, because it's a lot. It was really, really hard. And as you can see, I spent 5 months fixing what started off as not that great and made it something a lot better. So yeah, definitely do research, be prepared to spend a lot of time, money, energy, and yeah, hope you know how to sew.
And
Good
that's
luck.
why I'm not a cosplayer, because Tash and I have had several discussions about how I cannot sew.
It's scary. I'm still learning.
See, you're next up on the chopping block. Any advice for those first timers out there?
I would say if you're not confused, you're not doing it right, because these costumes are
Amen.
so confusing. And like
Mhm.
it goes even just beyond regular clothes, because this isn't regular material. This is PVC and vinyl. What?
Yeah.
It's so hard. And also I'd say don't be afraid to like you don't need to come right out the gate with a perfectly accurate costume. I know I've been updating my own like every once in a while, every few months, especially because these costumes themselves are always updating. So I'd say don't feel immense pressure to immediately put out this, huge stage accurate thing, because those are professionals who make that. And we are not professionals. We're just having fun doing this.
Not only
So
professionals, but teams of professionals as well. It's
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
one person.
And they have them in like industrial machines doing this. Like I just have an itty bitty sewing machine.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
And a budget.
So like, yeah, in general, just don't be too hard on yourself, because these costumes are so hard.
Mhm.
Tash, take it away.
As they both said, those costumes are super hard, and not only are they hard because of the materials, but the patterns themselves. You can't just go to a fabric store, go to the pattern section, and grab one out like every other costume. They're difficult as heck. I had to tape my body to get a pattern for Howard's
I did the
bust.
same thing.
So just I think starting off with like things you can find in your closet, or like clothes that you can turn into something from the costume, would be your easiest and safest thing to start off with a 6 costume. Finding something similar until you can work up to actually being able to kind of pattern it or kind of getting there. But yeah, they confused me, and as I said, I've been sewing for 10 years, so
Good luck is what we're saying.
good luck. That's it.
Let's shout out to some other shows in the musical theatre realm, because that's what we're all a part of. See, you've got 400 million different shows that you do. I know.
Basically.
If someone had to start this show right behind me, right here, Hadestown is probably a good place to start.
There she is.
Yes.
I know Tori and C have some from there. Tori's got, well, let's just go through my wall. We've got Tori with Frozen.
Yes.
Woo!
If someone had to start somewhere other than 6, what would be a good show to kick things off with? Tori was straight.
I have an
off the bat.
answer.
Let's roll.
Yes, I always say Heathers. So easy. All you need is a blazer, a white top, a scrunchie, a schoolgirl skirt, and
super
yeah,
easy.
that's it. So easy. If you love Heathers, like you got 4 to pick from, like that's pretty easy. Any like show that's like street clothes, like Heathers, Mean Girls, just anything that's not like crazy, like 6 or Hadestown, that's like unconventional and not just street clothes, anything like that is great to start with, super easy to do and pretty affordable. So yeah,
Essentially just look through Tori's TikTok if you're starting out, because she's like, no. She's like, she's at that.
Shade.
That wasn't supposed to be shade. I'm sorry. No, but Tori's got some really good like starter, like the cosplays I've seen you pull out. She's a really good starting point, and being a year into
I'll take it.
it makes sense.
I'm not
Tash.
about big builds yet. Oh no.
So offended for you.
Dig me out of the hole, Tash. Take it away.
What? Wait, what was the question again?
Oh. If someone had to start with any other show other than Six cosplaying,
Like cosplay wise, or just get any other show? I'm gonna say this one. C doesn't actually like it, but it's my favorite musical, Book of Mormon. You're there. Black pants, white shirt, black tie. You're a Mormon. Book of Mormon is hilarious. It's great. C doesn't like it, so it's perfect.
throwing shade. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They're all gonna come for me now.
If anyone comes for C, I'll come for you. So watch out.
Tell them I sent you.
C, anything from you?
So most of the shows I cosplay from are not easy because I like to make things difficult. So I can't speak exactly easiness wise from my personal experience, but I know like Tori said, street clothes, like you know, you could easily find something in your own closet or at a thrift store and throw something together. I know Dear Evan Hansen and like Rent would both be pretty easy places to start.
Rent would be a good one, yeah. All right. That brings us to the end, girls. We've had a pretty solid chat.
Can I just say? I found my mom's TikTok. It's called What Encrustation. Go follow it.
That promo.
It'll be down below in the link, so we're gonna shout it out.
Legendary. Oh my god.
All right. Before we wrap up, is there any questions that you guys get asked on the daily that we haven't touched on?
Yeah.
Go on, Tash.
Literally just, how do you make your costume? Or can you make this for me? I'll pay you. Don't. Literally do not ask us that. Please just don't.
The amount of times I've badgered Tash for a commission piece. No, but these girls like legit put all their time and their own money into these costumes. So although they look amazing, you got to think of the blood, sweat, and tears that's behind the costume, because they only post the photos where they're smiling and happy in them. They don't post the ones where they're breaking down in the material.
Mood.
Anything from Tori and C? Any questions that you get asked on the daily that we haven't touched off on yet?
I mean, we said a lot of it. I mean, it's called PVC vinyl studded trim. That's it. Google it. You'll find it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, girls. Well, that brings us to the end. Thank you for coming and hanging out. One last question before we go. Is there anything you guys are currently working on that you can kind of reveal to us before we leave? C's like put her fingers straight up, like she's like, can I tell?
Oh my goodness.
Do tell.
So what I've been working on over my quarantine is, I'm just going to say the character because I'm like, no hints. I'll just go follow. I'm working on Evie from The Sims 2. Yes, I think Tash already guessed it. So that's my next big build that I've been working on. Lots of zippers.
Good luck.
I reckon we just end the episode on that. That's just like
just mic drop right there.
Oh my god.
Did someone say we're just going to do a Descendants group? I'm in.
I'm down.
Listen,
legitimately, I've been planning Mal for years.
I'm good.
Well, Mal,
dude, you actually look like her though.
I want, what's his face? The I can't remember his name.
The dude.
Not Jay, the other one.
Carlos.
Yes, Carlos.
Yeah.
We stand.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to learn.
Yes.
Tori, what are you working on?
I actually have a Mal. That's so funny. I made 2 Mal jackets, but I
Sorry,
never
Tash.
showed it.
You're on the back burner. You got to pick another one.
We need more Mal. Yes. That costume, I forgot about that. Wow. Actually, I am making, because I was searching on Poshmark and I saw this dress and I was like, I can destroy that, which is my favorite pastime to do. And it is a perfect base dress to make a Fate from Hades Town. And I love them.
Yeah.
C inspired me. And no one else does Fates except C. C did the whole show though. C quite literally bootlegged the entirety of Hades Town. So.
Yeah.
But I'm making a Fate from Hades Town, and I'm so excited because I think they're so cool. And that's like will be kind of
they're the
hard to do.
best.
So I'm excited to do something unconventional, not street clothes.
Shani.
I took this time to start working on a big costume that I've wanted to do for a while. So
I know it is.
it's Lottie from Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
I haven't
fangirling.
finished it. I've only just started it, but I've already got parts that I'm stopping myself from doing to redo better. So it's going to be one of those costumes that I keep improving. I'm hand sewing the hem at the bottom so it's not seen. I have to style this giant wig. It's going to be a while till
It's
you'll
gonna be
see her,
amazing.
but I'm so excited to do it. I may even have to make like the petticoat under panniers. So
Yes.
Oh my god. Get that ripped
expect it anytime soon.
You're gonna kill it. You are gonna rock that.
It's going to kill me.
Possibly, but
One thing we've touched on that I forgot to bring up earlier, Tash, you're going to be left out of this conversation, sadly. Broadway Con. Let's touch on Broadway Con because that is what brought the three of us together.
Yes.
Was how many was that your first con for both of you, or had you been before for Broadway Con?
No, I had been to other
Yeah,
ones.
Had you
me
been to
too.
Broadway
Mhm.
Con though?
Yeah. No,
that was
that was
like
my first Broadway.
yeah,
con.
same.
Okay,
Heck yeah, newbie.
right. That was insane. And see, did I see a photo of you in Persephone with a crowd?
Did you see the
Yeah.
TikTok?
I
Yeah, they asked me to go on stage
Yeah, I
and
love
shoot
that.
a TikTok. That's my claim to fame.
You made it. You did it. You really did.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
let's just throw a shout out to the amazing, because it wasn't just you two cosplaying there. There was a ton of Six cosplayers there as well.
So cool.
It was really cool to
Mhm.
be surrounded by just musical theater fans nerding out.
Mhm. Yes.
So shout out to Broadway Con,
Absolutely.
and I'm sure we're gonna organize. Tash, I'm gonna take you in my suitcase if you don't agree to come. The
Cries in Australian.
yes.
next time there is a Broadway Con, we will all be there and we will be all rocking.
Hell yeah.
I know I've already spoken to one of my friends. We're possibly setting up a booth for the Queendom cast, so you'll definitely see me at the next one. So hashtag there's a plug.
Ooh, love
So
that.
cute.
But Broadway Con is amazing, and if you guys are in the area or do have the resources to get to Broadway Con, I do highly recommend it because you will either learn something or meet amazing people like the ones on your screen or in your ears right now.
Aww.
Let's all cry. Queens, guess what? That does wrap us up on that note. And if you want to follow any of these three amazing women on any social platform, I will be popping all their links in descriptions abroad. So click through, watch hours and hours of TikTok videos, scroll through videos and videos.
Follow my mom.
Plugs
We'll be
galore.
doing that. Oh my god.
But thanks for coming and hanging out, girls, and chatting cosplay. Hopefully this alleviates some of the questions and people can use this as a reference. And
Probably not, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I made a post for it.
exactly.
Yeah. Go
Um,
see Tash's post. 10
Tash
out of
has a
10.
story highlight that you guys can look through about her specific Kay Howard stuff, and we'll work on the blog post.
Especially if you're Australian.
Yeah, we'll work on the blog post for worldwide stuff. So, and I'll chat to some UK cosplayers as well to get UK stuff. We'll get it all sorted.
Nice.
In the meantime, if you want to,
Mr. World.
in the meantime, if you want to follow me, you know where we are, the Queendom Cast and Oz Queendom. Hit us up, check us out, Queens. That brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you for joining us, and we'll just wait for C's video to. We've lost.
Come back, see.
We've lost C. No, she's back. There
There
she
she
is.
is.
Oh, we lost one.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back.
Just in
Sorry.
time to say
I
bye.
went right at the end.
All right, Queens. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.